How's it going, everybody? Kaitha here. Welcome back to the AKG project. I've got another little update video for you guys today, and I'm trying very, very hard. Oh wow. I'm focused all the way over there. Not to turn the camera around, as once I hit play, we shall find out. And bam, we have pillars everywhere. So I fixed a few things, and at the same time, I've managed to break the target jumping. Oh, I've got that turned on because I hear the thing. Alright, so apart from the freaking out the camera there, I managed to actually get the camera following to work nicely, considering I fixed the actual camera a while ago. We now have nice smooth camera following, which I can toggle on and off at the moment. I'm going to turn that off. But the reason it turned on before, I don't think I can, you can't really see it. But I have floating arrows now. And as long as I don't fall off, which we didn't, let me turn it off. Otherwise it's gonna make me go down there. Walking in and out of these things. Oh, hang on. Well, it's gonna turn it off because that's how the thing works. I hit F, but I hit F on the wrong thing. The target jumping, didn't mean to do that. Being inside this collision box turns on and off the follow cam, which makes sense, if I can just jump back, for when we run across over here. So I'm a little over the place today. Sorry. If we zoom out, so I can actually show you now. Can I? No, I can't turn those off. They're a little annoying, but I've just got pathways in intersections, pathways, whichever you'd like to call them, to go to different areas. That's the idea behind these. So if we can just jump through them. So now while I jump, I can choose which way I want to go, and the camera will slowly follow behind, making the turns a little easier. Just go all the way over here. Oh, we failed. Occasionally we slip up, but that's fine. Camera's trying to follow me. I'm half used to the camera following. Like, I'm used to it just being like this, and I manually control the camera. But at times it seems easier for it to follow, so it's a bit weird. So I've got this working so nicely now. And also, picking the paths was apparently not working all that well the last time. So we jump back through. And I was gonna do a fancy thing, but I can't do it because I'm holding right trigger. We'll jump over here. So this is the thing that I broke, and unfortunately it doesn't work with different heights, or zoomed all the way out now, or with wall running, because I've got this one on here turned off at the moment. So I can jump onto a wall, as I can jump over here. I might as well go show that. That makes most sense. Can jump to a wall. I can't jump from a wall onto a point. And as you would have, or those with keen eyes would have seen, we also now have a new wall running animation. And if I can do it just to show off here, we can make that jump there with a sprint, which I've added, which is just forever for the moment, dashing and then teleporting. The other thing I just fixed just before starting recording is, if you ever remember the bad vertical wall jumping that we had, where occasionally I would jump sort of downwards, I'm going to jump into the code now. We don't need that anymore, I don't think. It was a case of, well, really one thing, but two things. I was doing this wall check down here. I think I just changed it. I think it was in here, or no, this wasn't even wall checking here at all. Like, I didn't have the vertical check towards me. So that was one thing. So it would default to side wall, or if you were actually moving the stick to either a wall leap or wall swap. Then if we were to go down to wall jump, before I went and fixed all this, I threw everything into a switch statement. but it was doing the vertical wall check first. So depending on where the stick was, would depend on how you would jump. So I finally fixed that. There was just an epiphany that I had before started recording. And also I should point out that this is... Oh, I haven't fixed it apparently. Although I'm pushing forward now. Why is that a thing? Well, that's just... Apparently I haven't fixed it. I've just lied to you all. Alright, back to the drawing board with that. That's what I thought it was. Apparently not. That's everything new, I think. I'm both overjoyed and really annoyed with the target jumping as I made it work and then I broke it. I remember where this is now. They have an indicator deactivation, activation, depending on the distance. This check, obviously, self-contained and jump point with just a reference to the player. Nothing fancy there. It's kind of how it was before, with the added of the end paths, I suppose. Can't think of where the actual wall jumping stuff is. I suppose it's in here, targeted jumping. The whole checking the stick direction, whatnot, pointing towards the current jump we need to go to is a determined target, which I believe is the second check call that happens. Just gonna briefly go over this because some of it's the same, some of it's new. We still have our smallest angle, getting our stick direction. Anything different with that is now I flip it if the input becomes a negative. Then we get the cross product from the camera forward in the direction of the current jump position minus the player's transform. We'll get the angle of the same thing. We're just got to make sure that it's a positive angle. I don't think that matters too much, thinking about it. But we'll leave it there because everything works. Then if the cross product of this, we're only getting the y. We're only interested in the y value, but we're only interested to whether or not it's a positive or negative. It basically determines whether or not this point is to the right or the left of where the camera's facing. So we get that from the y value, literally, of the cross product. Then we get our angle difference from the stick direction minusing this angle. I have an output here just to keep everything in check. That can actually be removed. And then we do a sort of double if statement for whether or not if the current, because this loops, I forgot about that. The current smallest angle, if it's greater than 0, the angle difference must be smaller than that, but it's also got to be greater than the negative of the current smallest angle. Otherwise, you get a problem where if I could just angle the camera nicely at the moment. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but say camera's facing more this way, and we were pointing the stick this way. Say this angle's, just for argument's sake, say negative 10, or just at the angle of 10. This one here ends up being 45. With the way this gets set up, if I didn't have, I'm pretty sure it's just the last check here. With the whole angle difference subtraction and whatnot, you can get it where this angle ends up being, say, negative 45. I don't remember the actual setup for it, but it happened to me once, and then I had to add that little bit on the end. So this would be negative 45, and then because of the way the checking happens, it's like, oh, that's smaller than my angle of 10, or negative 10 in the case. And you end up, whoops, I whacked the mic, sorry. You end up jumping to this one even though you're pointing to that one. I've said that backwards, but if that kind of makes sense, yeah. If it didn't, don't worry about it. It's just more a case of you're pointing to this one, but you jump to that one. Even though I said my whole explanation thing made that backwards, I think. Yeah, and then we just set the eye, and that gets returned as normal. So, or set and then returned as normal. So that's that. So I'm going to pretty much wrap that up for today. I would really like to be able to get either wall jumping back onto these things working, or getting the different heights. The different height is what I really want. More of the two. So we can stop on some of these, but they're very small, and that's the whole point. It's meant to be that you're not supposed to be able to stop on these, but I can't make them any smaller. Otherwise you kind of just misjump where you're going to. Some of them aren't centered very well either, and that's probably half the problem. And these little blocks here are just for determining my actual standing jump, which I'll actually point out. I had to fix that because the initial whole calculating your jump force and height whatnot was wrong. Or for my liking, it was wrong. If we scroll down to the bottom, I'm jumping all over the place. That's what I do. Calculate. It's down the bottom here. At least I thought it was down the bottom. Calculating gravity. This was originally like that. And for me, I don't know why, because it would double your jump height here. So if you had, I was using it for something. I don't remember what the something was. It might have been just for this. But having that, I had that on 2 initially. So that's the height of 2, but I was jumping up here. So just for me, and the measurements were wrong. It just didn't make sense. It might be there for a reason, but for me, at the moment, it doesn't make a difference. Back to what I was saying with the different heights of these things. The idea of these is they're meant to be, you're not supposed to be able to do what I can do at the start here and be able to jump all the way over here. I mean, granted, you probably won't be able to use it like that. I don't know. Teleporting, oh, that's the other thing I fixed. You can't teleport into open air. You have to be teleporting onto a piece of ground. Which is good for the mechanics of the game, but it's bad because I can't save myself half the time anymore when I fall off. Because sometimes you can, save yourself by teleporting into the air here and continue falling onto the ground. But that's fine. Who knows, I might make a change back. But anyway, all of these jump targets are meant to say increase in height by a little bit, and at the moment can't wrap my head around how to make that work. I will get there, I hope. I will, and then I hope. Good sentence structure, me. Anyway, guys, that is going to be all for today. No new coding, unfortunately. Also, I haven't got. Actually, I'm going to turn this back on. This jump target. I don't know if I'm going to break that if I do that though. Now turn it on. One fancy little thing I'll do, which I also need to show you, is I have the arrows indicator things on an animated state thing. So it works fine there. If we stop, it just looks a little. Can I turn that off? I can't. It just looks a little funky with that one. If that shows up well on YouTube, I don't know if it will. So that one that case, it would be better to be on the top here, pointing up and down, but yes, 5 for the moment, then there we go, we fall. Anyway, that is all for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to stick around and see some more. I'm not too sure when the next episode will be. I'm actually working on the Pokemon project again, and that will probably go up soon, another episode on that. I'm trying to just rework a lot of the things. But anyway, I shall see you guys next time, whenever that is. But until then, bye.